So today in the Power Academy, I was talking about how character carries her. And I chose her because mostly I work with girls, but in general, how character carries a person. And it was just incredible for me to take an experience that I had with the under-17s in the Women's World Cup, and just thinking about the topic there and how everything touched home, to say, how do we expect players to be at their best when we don't know what their character looks like? Do they even have good or bad character? Because everyone is born with character, but is it good or bad? Is it necessary for competing? And how do we influence that as coaches? What are the building blocks in that, and some of the building blocks that we looked at is family, parents, the surroundings of a person, friends, coaches also are part of the building blocks that build character, and if you think about it, as coaches, we have so much in our hands where we are expected to have results and all of that, but tapping into a space where you understand a person's character helps you, brings you closer to each other, and it helps you bring the player closer to what you both want to achieve, so it was incredible for me to be speaking to the coaches about that, because often we just look at the physical side of things. Character is not easy to identify, but there's certain elements that you can look out for, in no particular order or just strictly those, but there's how a player communicates with others, how a player reacts, during in a disappointment or when they're winning, how does a player behave when they have to play with different players, how do they take instruction to implement, how do they, rise to the occasion or not rise to the occasion, what are the reasons, what is their mental, where is their mental framework, in everything that they're doing there. So for me, it was incredible just to share that, and with my experience with the girls there in the national team, it's something that I realized we mostly overlook it and we just go for talent. On its own, it's not enough. If you want to see players doing high performance competitions, you have to dig deeper. And for me, seeking or looking at character, picking character first was critical for me, because it means I'm looking at players that understand who they are, where they want to go, not easily influenced, especially in a negative way, but they influence, even if it's positive, they still question it to say, what's in it for me, why am I doing it, what's more to benefit from it. So it's me understanding that no matter how talented a player can be, you have to find a way where character beats all odds. Character carries them. Character is what will help them shine, dark or blue, it helps them see further, they become assertive. They also want to be players that want to start things, they become game changers. And we are not just talking about elite athletes, but from an early age, youth players, where they start thinking and tapping into a space where they realize, is my character good enough to be in a space I am, and to stay in that space or to progress further, so because as coaches, I think we just want results, but we often forget about a lot of fundamentals that help us to get the best out of the players or pick the best players, so choosing this topic, really it was for me to just go back and see where did I go wrong with picking a team, and I realized that there wasn't enough character in that team, and hence we didn't achieve some of our goals. And some of our goals were not just going out of the group stage and winning all of our games, but it was us giving our best, showing our best at all times, whether we win, whether we lose, how do we turn the corner, and character is what carries you and helps you to be able to turn the tide and say, no, I'm taking it differently, I'm gonna swim upstream because I know I can, so that's basically what I spoke about today, and it's incredible to see how character helps you to tap into different elements, of coaching, especially youth players, because now you have to sit back also, introspect, test your character and check your character, because you want to expect a particular standard of character where else you don't have, then there's a contradiction there, so I think with the Powerade Performance Academy, because everything is about performance, but where does it start? Here and there, and everything else comes together, then you find that's where you get your results. You see, when you're talking about character, it's something that a person is built with. You know, lack of is often a negative. Because like I said, everybody has character. It can be negative, it can be positive, or lack of character. And when you find a player that already has character, there's a starting block there, you know, and now you teach yourself about that person. As soon as you teach yourself about that person, you understand their highs, their lows, what they aspire to be, what are their goals, what are their fears. Then you start working on that, because the more you understand the person we are working with, the more you can expect or demand the best out of them. So for me, I found it really incredible to, like, really important for me to specifically start looking at how best can I help myself to identify that character, because it's not something that is in sight. You don't just see a person and say, this one has got great character. You're just able to say, I hope they have good character. But once they start doing certain things, then you are able to measure. And it's easy if you when you go with an open mind to say, I'm giving myself time, and I'm giving that player time, and start explaining things. Find out what do they want to achieve, because you might find that they have a different path, you know. And in sport, we always require consistency, you know. If you have a character of being assertive, a character of wanting to win, a win can be you being able to make top 10. You being able to have more participants in football. A win can be you having more girls taking part in a sport, you know. But character also from you, from within, helps you to be able to find and seek players that have the character and start building with them, showing them what they have but they are not aware of. They loved the presentation because they started to relate and say, actually, I've been going about it the right way, or I've been going about it the wrong way, or I'm on the virtue of achieving what I want to achieve. And some of them are saying it opened up their, you know, their spectrum to say, actually, we always demand so much at this age, but we forget to look at one important aspect, which is character, because that's where they are learning new things, you know. So I got positive feedback. They were impressed with the presentation, you know, and yeah, I was excited to get such feedback.